This is the Sakar Murli of 24th of January 2025. Essence. Sweet children, continue to follow the directions of the One Father, and the Father will be responsible for you. The Father's direction is, remember me whilst walking and moving around. Question. What are the main signs of the children who are good and virtuous? Answer. They do the very good service of changing thorns into flowers. They do not prick anyone like thorns do. They never fight amongst themselves. They do not cause sorrow for anyone. To cause sorrow for them means to prick them like thorns. Song. Time is passing by. Om Shanti. You sweetest, long-lost and now found spiritual children, understand the meaning of this song, number-wise, according to the efforts you make. Number-wise is said because some have first grade understanding, some second grade, and others third grade. Each one of you understands in your own way. Each of your intellects has your own individual faith. The Father continues to explain. Always consider it to be shivbaba who is giving directions through this one. You have been following devilish directions for half a cycle. Now have the faith that by following God's directions, your boat can go across. If you consider these directions to come from a human being and not from God, you become confused. The Father says, follow my directions, and I am then responsible for you. I am responsible for whatever activity is performed through this one. I will make it right. Simply continue to follow my directions. Those whose remembrance is accurate are the ones who follow my directions. If you understand at every step that these are God's directions and you follow them, you can never experience a loss. There is victory in having faith. There are many children who do not understand these things. By having a little of this knowledge, they become body conscious and they have very little yoga. Knowledge means to know the history and geography. This is very easy. People here study so much science. This study is very easy. It is yoga that requires effort. If someone says to Baba that he remains very intoxicated in yoga, Baba would not believe him. Baba sees each one's acts. Those who remember the Father must be the most lovely. However, when you don't have remembrance, it is then that you perform wrong acts. There is the difference of day and night. You can now explain the picture of the ladder very well. At present, this is a jungle of thorns. It is not a garden. You should explain clearly that Bharat used to be a garden of flowers. Do wild animals ever live in a garden? Only deities live there. The Father is the highest authority, and then Brahma, the Father of humanity, is also the highest authority. This Dada is also the highest authority. There is Shiva and there is Brahma, the Father of humanity. You souls are the children of Shivbaba, and in your corporeal forms, you are brothers and sisters, children of Brahma, the Father of humanity. He is the great-great-grandfather of everyone. A building is needed for this highest authority. Write this and see if it touches anyone's intellect. There is Shivbaba and there is Brahma, the father of humanity, the father of all souls, and the father of all human beings. This is a very good point to explain to others. However, you children do not explain it fully. You forget it because you develop the arrogance of having this knowledge. It is as though you even try to gain victory over BapDada. This Dada says, okay, if you don't listen to me, always think that it is Shivbaba who is explaining, and that you must follow his directions. It is God who is directly giving you directions to do this and that. He is responsible. Follow the directions given by God. This one is not God. You have to study with God. Constantly think that it is God who is giving you directions. Lakshmi and Narayan were also human beings of Bharat. All are human beings, but they were all residents of Shivalaya. That is why everyone says Namaste to them. However, some children don't explain fully. Many develop arrogance of their knowledge. Many have defects. It is only when you have full yoga that your sins can be absolved. To become a master of the world is not like going to your auntie's home. Baba sees how Maya catches hold of some children by their noses and throws them into the gutter. You should stay in remembrance of the Father with happiness and in full bloom. Your aim and objective is in front of you. You have to become like Lakshmi and Narayan. By forgetting this, your degree of happiness does not rise. Some say that they want to have conducted meditation because they are unable to remember him when they are outside. Because you don't stay in remembrance, Baba sometimes sends you a program to follow, but in spite of that, you don't sit in remembrance. Their intellects continue to wander here and there. Baba gives his own example. He was such a strong devotee of Narayan that he always kept a picture of Narayan with him wherever he went. Nevertheless, his intellect would still wander around at the time of worshipping. The same happens here. The Father says, whilst walking and moving around, you should continue to remember the Father. But many of you want to have a sister especially conduct meditation for you. There is no reason to have specially conducted meditation. Baba always says, stay in remembrance. Whilst sitting in yoga, some children go into trance. They are unable to remember this knowledge, or have yoga and they start dozing off. Many have the habit of doing that. That peace is only temporary, and it means that they are peaceless throughout the day. If you do not remember the Father whilst walking and moving around, how would your burden of sins be removed? This burden is of half a cycle. It is considering yourself to be a soul and remembering the Father that takes a lot of effort. Although many children write to Baba and tell him that they stayed in remembrance for such and such a time, they are not really able to stay in remembrance for that long. They don't really understand the chart. Baba is the unlimited Father. He is the purifier, and so you should remain in happiness. You should not think that you belong to shivbaba anyway. There are many children like this who think that they belong to Baba anyway, and they do not remember him at all. If they did remember him, they would become number one. You need a very good intellect in order to explain to others. We are praising Bharat. When this world was new, there was a kingdom of deities. It is now an old world, the Iron Age. That is a land of happiness, and this is a land of sorrow. When Bharat was golden-aged, it was a kingdom of deities. People ask you, how can we believe that it was their kingdom? This knowledge is so wonderful. Whatever is in each one's fortune, and whatever effort each of you makes, is clearly visible. You can tell from their activity. After all, you are human beings, both in the Golden Age and in the Iron Age. So why do people go and bow their heads in front of those idols? They are called the Masters of Heaven. When someone dies, they say that so-and-so has become a resident of heaven. They don't even understand that. At this time, all are residents of hell. Everyone will surely take rebirth here. Baba continues to observe everyone's behavior. Baba has to talk in such an ordinary way to some of you. He has to look after you. The Father explains everything very clearly. You understand that this is correct, so why do you still become big thorns? By causing sorrow for one another, you become thorns. You do not let go of that habit. The Father, the gardener, is now planting a garden of flowers. He continues to change you from thorns into flowers. This is his task. How could anyone who is a thorn change others into flowers? You still have to be cautious about whom you send to the exhibitions. Good and virtuous children are those who do the good service of changing thorns into flowers. They do not prick anyone like thorns do. That is, they do not cause sorrow for anyone. They never fight amongst themselves. You children have to explain very accurately. There is no question of insulting anyone in this. Shiv Jayanti is now coming, and so you should hold many exhibitions. You can also hold small exhibitions and explain, become residents of heaven in a second. That is, from being impure, corrupt ones, become pure and elevated. Attain liberation in life in a second. They don't even understand the meaning of liberation in life. It is now that you also understand. Everyone receives liberation and liberation in life from the Father. However, you also have to understand the drama. Those in other religions will not go to heaven. Everyone will return to their own section. Then they will come down at their own times to establish their religions. This is clearly shown in the picture of the tree. No one other than the one Satguru can grant salvation to all. However, there are many gurus who can teach you devotion. No human guru can grant salvation. You simply need the wisdom to explain. You have to use your intellects in this. This drama is performed so wonderfully. There are very few of you who remain intoxicated by this. Acha. To you sweetest, beloved, long-lost, and now-found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BapDada. The Spiritual Father says Namaste to you spiritual children. Night Class, 18th of March, 1968. In fact, you do not need to debate about the scriptures. The main aspect is remembrance and to understand the beginning, the middle, and end of the world. You have to become rulers of the globe. You simply have to understand this cycle. It is remembered of this time that you receive liberation in life in a second. It must be a wonder for you children that devotion lasts for half a cycle, and that there isn't the slightest bit of this knowledge. Only the Father has this knowledge. You have to know it from the Father. This Father is so uncommon, and this is why only a handful out of multi-millions emerge. Those teachers would not say this. This one says, I am the Father, the teacher, and the Guru. So people wonder about it when they hear this. Bharat is said to be the mother country because the name of Amba, Goddess Mother, is very well known. They have many melas, fairs, to Amba. The word Amba is sweet. Little children love their mother a lot because she feeds them, gives them a drink, and looks after them. However, there has to be a father of Amba too. This child is adopted. She doesn't have a husband. This is something new. Prajapita Brahma would definitely adopt children. The Father alone comes and explains all of these things to you. So many melas to Amba take place, and she is worshipped because that child, Mama, had done a lot of service. No one else could teach as many children as the number of people Mama had taught. Mama is very well known, and many big melas are held. You children know that it is the Father who has come and explained the secrets of the beginning, middle, and end to you children. You children also know about the Father's home. You have love for the Father, and you also love the home. You receive this knowledge at this time. So much income is earned through this study. So there has to be happiness. You are completely ordinary. The world does not know that the Father comes and speaks this knowledge. The Father alone comes and tells you children all of these new things. The new world is created through the unlimited study. There is disinterest in the old world. You children have the happiness of having this knowledge within you. You have to remember the Father and the home. Everyone has to return home. The Father would say to everyone, Children, I have come to give you the inheritance of liberation and liberation in life. So why do you forget? I am your unlimited Father. I have come to teach you Raja Yoga. So will you not follow Srimat? Otherwise there would be a great loss. This is an unlimited loss. If you let go of the Father's hand, there will be a loss in your income. Acha. Good night. Om Shanti. Essence for Dharna. 1. Become most lovely by having remembrance of the One Father. Whilst walking, moving around and performing actions, practice remaining in remembrance. Stay in remembrance of the Father and remain happy and in full bloom. 2. Follow God's directions at every step, and whilst performing every act, do not become arrogant, intoxication of body consciousness. Do not perform any bad act. Do not become confused. Blessing. May you constantly be double light and remain stable in a high stage while performing ordinary actions. The Father takes an ordinary body and speaks and moves in the same way as you do. So although the actions are ordinary, his stage remains high. In the same way, the stage of you children too has to remain high. Become double light, remain stable in a high stage while performing ordinary actions. Constantly have this awareness: I am an incarnation who has incarnated in order to perform elevated actions. Ordinary actions will then change into alokik actions. Slogan: only those who make their vision and attitude soul conscious are able to imbibe purity easily. With your powerful mind, do the service of giving sakash. The busier you keep yourself in serving with your mind, that much more easily will you become a conqueror of Maya. Do not be passionate about this just for yourself, but also do the service of transforming others with your good wishes and pure feelings. Let there be a balance of those pure feelings with this knowledge, love and yoga. You have become benefactors. Now become unlimited world benefactors. Om Shanti.